He almost missed the last train. The platform was nearly empty. The kind of silence that only exists past midnight. Brandon stepped inside just as the doors slid shut behind him. There were only a handful of people scattered across the compartment. A man asleep by the window, a woman staring blankly at nothing, and someone sitting at the far end, watching him. Brandon ignored it. He found a seat and leaned back, letting the exhaustion of the day settle into his bones. The train moved, slow at first, then faster. The city lights began to blur into long streaks of yellow and white. That's when he noticed something strange. The train wasn't stopping. It had already passed 2 stations. No announcement, no slowing down. Nothing. Brandon frowned and looked around. No one else seemed to care. The man by the window was still asleep. The woman hadn't moved, and the person at the far end was still watching him. This time, Brandon looked back. The figure didn't look away. It just sat there. Still. Silent. Waiting. A cold feeling settled in his chest. He stood up and walked toward the door, pressing the emergency button. Nothing happened. He pressed it again. Still nothing. The train kept moving. Faster now. The outside world had turned into darkness. No buildings. No roads. Just black. Brandon turned around. The compartment felt different. Quieter. He looked at the other passengers again. The man by the window wasn't breathing. Too still. Too perfect. The woman hadn't blinked, not once. And the person at the far end was gone. Brandon's heart started pounding. "Hello?" he called out. No response. His voice felt swallowed by the space around him. Then, a sound behind him. He turned slowly. The person was standing now. Closer. Much closer. Brandon hadn't heard footsteps, hadn't seen them move. They were just there. He tried to speak. "What is this? Where are we?" The figure tilted its head slightly, and for the first time, smiled. Not warmly, not kindly, just knowingly. "You weren't supposed to notice so soon," it said. Brandon froze. "What do you mean?" The figure stepped closer. "You were supposed to sleep through it, like the others." Brandon looked back at the passengers. They looked empty, like bodies without people inside them. His voice shook. "What is this place?" The figure didn't answer immediately. It just looked at him, almost studying him. Then it said, "This is where unfinished journeys come to rest." Brandon's breath caught. "I don't understand." The figure's smile faded. "You will." Something inside him shifted. A memory, faint. Broken. Flashes. Rain. Headlights. A loud sound. Metal crushing. Glass shattering. Silence. Brandon staggered back. No, that's not." But the memory kept coming. Clearer now, he was in a car, driving fast. Too fast. The road was wet, slippery. He remembered the moment, the loss of control, the impact, and then nothing. The train slowed. For the first time, a station appeared outside, dimly lit, almost unreal. The doors slid open. The figure stepped aside. "This is your stop." Brandon stood there, frozen. This isn't real. The figure met his eyes. It is now. Brandon looked outside. There was no one on the platform. No sound. No movement. Just stillness. He turned back. What happens if I don't get off? The figure's expression didn't change. Then you keep traveling. Brandon swallowed. And them? He asked, looking at the others. They never noticed, the figure said quietly. They never woke up. Brandon looked down at his hands. They felt distant, like they didn't belong to him anymore. He took a step forward, then another, and stepped off the train. The doors closed behind him. The train didn't wait. It moved immediately, disappearing into the darkness it came from. Brandon stood alone on the platform. The silence pressed in around him. He turned slowly. At the far end of the station, there was another train, waiting, its doors open, its lights on, and inside, someone was already sitting, watching him.